get away with it. Along with that, I'm dealing with my mom not cooperating and being in cahoots with him. I'd rather win a settlement than fight for this and give my last tears and blood, sweat, and tears into this.
Barnes and Barnes versus Mahmood and Miller.
Afternoon, Your Honor. Ellis Friedman for the plaintiff.
Your name, sir?
Devin Miller.
All right. And Ms. Mahmood, is she here or no?
Yes, she is here, but I think she's having some difficulties right now.
Your Honor, we haven't received a payment since the last time we were here. It's $26.65 total.
And sir?
$25.65, I'm sorry.
25.
So I recently just received employment, so I've been waiting for my check to come between that time.
But it's not going to be, I have a note that $1,000 was going to be paid. I don't know why.
$1,000?
Okay. Well, how would you intend on getting this paid off, sir?
So I don't get paid until the 28th.
Until the what?
The 28th of June.
Okay, but all right, let's take that. And how much would you be willing, how much are you going to be able to pay?
So with me working weekly, I get paid $5.60 on a full.
On a full check, you get how much?
$5.60 minus tax.
Because I don't know how we're going to do this if she's not here, because I'm about to, I mean, my inclination is to issue a judgment.
Well, we've been having some difficulties in being uncooperative.
Pardon?
She was being uncooperative. I would hope that you don't throw it out because I'm really trying.
She was being uncooperative.
I apologize for interrupting. I have an IM out front, but she doesn't want to come into the courtroom because of a contact order between her and her husband.
We don't have one, sir, Your Honor.
Are you her husband?
Yes. May I explain?
Please.
Okay, so recently she's having a spat with me. She's just upset that she wanted me to apologize for a misunderstanding that we had before coming here to court when she got verbally volatile with me. So she decided to.
Okay, that's fine. Is there a no contact order between the two of you?
No, there's absolutely not. She probably just said that just to make things worse on my end.
Well, they couldn't get much worse.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not really sure. She can be very vindictive.
Okay, so let's not say that out loud.
Okay.
Can you go down the hall and
Sign her into Zoom?
No, she's here. Yeah, well, ask her if she's going to participate in the hearing. You have one case.
Sure.
just say it.
I did have one recently, Your Honor, in 14A1 or 14B, and the person was adamant that he could not pay. And the judge finally said, well, okay, but you're going to have a judgment. And guess what happened 3 days later?
Yes.
So I know that advice of right says you don't have to have a judgment to get assistance, but sometimes it assists.
Sometimes it helps. Yep.
Is Ms. Martin working?
She receives assistance. So, I recently started.
Pardon?
I recently started working.
Yeah, but does she work?
She doesn't work now, but she's disabled.
Disabled.
Yes. So she receives assistance.
I thought she was getting I didn't mean to, but I thought she was getting a job down the street.
Oh, yeah, she was trying to get a job at Insomniac Cookies. She has yet to hear from them. I was able to obtain employment and I started working this week.
Where did Alan go? I was just wondering where Alan went. Even though today's gone, he probably just left the building. He knew I shouldn't have let him out. Him over here.
Sir. Yeah, see you.
Ma'am, what's your name?
Miriam Mahmood.
All right. There's a total amount of $25.65 owing. Was there a method by which you were intending on getting this paid, or do you know?
I'm going to be very honest with you, Judge.
Okay.
I have no intention of paying one penny. No intention of paying one penny. I've been with Barnes and Barnes since 2021 in this place. I've been with Barnes and Barnes for about 6 years now. Before that, I was in different apartments with Barnes and Barnes. Before that, I've been in EMU since I was 16. Eastern Police, Ipsy Police, all y'all have just failed me. I've been begging Barnes and Barnes to fix my house for a simple fan for heat in the winter. I'm having to take money out of my pockets to keep myself fed. I would rather sleep in my car than fight for a house, because along with this court case, I'm dealing with my pedophile dad who decided to touch me for 6 years and get away with it. Along with that, I'm dealing with my mom not cooperating and being in cahoots with him. I rather win a settlement than fight for this and give my last tears and blood, sweat, and tears into this. My husband doesn't understand how to speak to me nicely. That's why we're not standing here together. And I'm not gonna stand next to a man who doesn't know how to open the right door instead of the left door and snap at his wife. I'm not going to do that. I walked out because in March, I was in jail for beating him up. I'm not gonna stand here and go out of my character and act irate when I don't want to fight for something that's mine. That's not, he claims that it's his more than mine. I brought him into my house. I gave him my car. I gave him the clothes on his back. I'm not going to fight for this anymore. I'm exhausted, tired, and hopeless. Ipsy Police was in my house today at 5 a.m. when I asked for harassment. I filed a PPO. I'm getting no help. I'm hopeless, frustrated, and exhausted, and I'm done.
Okay. I just had to make sure, which is why I wanted you in the courtroom, that I was going to find no tribal issue. I was going to issue a judgment to the plaintiff. And I just wanted to make sure that you understood what the court was doing, which is why I wanted you here. All right. So the court finding no tribal issue under judgment for possession and money. It looks like you requested for possession and money as to both defendants. Total amount, the 25,600, that was inclusive of costs, correct?
Yes.
In the total amount of $2,565, and an order of eviction or writ will issue in 10 days. All right. Thank you.
Sorry, could you say that again? I speak 3 different languages. I'm not American. I'm British. So I didn't understand one word that came out of your mouth. I'm sorry, sir.
The whole thing?
You're throwing legal words at me, sir.
No, I'm
I'm
not,
mentally,
ma'am.
I'm
ma'am.
in
All right.
middle school. I didn't pass, I
Okay.
speak 3 different languages. I'm not educated.
Okay.
So I don't understand when you throw legal terms at me. I need to speak to me like a toddler. I would understand that better. Thank you.
I'm issuing a judgment. I'm signing a judgment, a piece of paper indicating that plaintiff, your landlord, has the right to possession of the premises
Okay, so
unless $2,565 is paid prior to July 1st or by July 1st. If it's not paid by July 1st, they can then file for what's called a writ of restitution or an order of eviction to have you move. Either at that point, you can move by then or you can pay the money by then. If you fail to move, what will end up happening if they file that order of eviction, the court will sign off on it. And then what will happen is the sheriff, another police agency, or the sheriff's department or a court officer will show up and will, if you haven't vacated the premises, will remove you from the premises.
yeah, and I know how the eviction process works. I just don't. I have lawyers in my family, but I'm more on the medical side rather than the lawyer side. But I appreciate all your help, and sorry,
All right.
my husband and I aren't cooperating today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Arbor One versus Regina Griffith.
Carol Walkup on behalf of the plaintiff.
Gina Griffith, you're muted. It's you. You're the LG stylist. You have to unmute. Yeah, she's trying.
I got it.
Oh,
I think
you got it? Okay. What's your name?
Regina Griffith.
All right, very good. And the claim in this case, Ms. Lucka?
Your Honor, total amount due $2,388.10.
All right. Ma'am, I know you said you were going to apply for state emergency relief.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. How many people are in your household?
Just one, Your Honor.
Okay, because that's only going to net you about $410. Um,
Your Honor.
yes,
there's
ma'am.
something that's go- Um, there was, abatement on the, apartment because they didn't do the repairs that were supposed to be done. So that's where that aggregate is coming, that amount is coming from.
Okay, you broke up there for me. Can we kill her? Video. Okay. Ms. Griffith, can you say that to me again, please?
Your Honor, there's an abatement on the apartment. It started, they came out April 25th and they got notice May 24th. And that's where the, confusion's coming in with the payment.
Okay. There's an abatement? What do you mean?
Section 8 asked them to do some repairs and they have not done that.
Okay, let me ask you this. So you received section,
That is correct, Your Honor.
all right, how much is your portion of the rent?
165.
165?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. And well, this doesn't make any sense. How long has your rent been 165?
My rent since July 22nd of 2022.
Have you been paying your 165?
Yes, Your Honor.
So
I'm confused myself here, but go ahead, Your Honor.
so this amount you're claiming is a portion Section 8 did not pay because they abated rent because of repairs.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Luckoff, you see that on?
I'm not aware of that. Does she, I'd ask her to forward, first of all, to me, if she has any documentation of this, I'd like to see
I
it.
do. Your Honor.
I see that she's been paying 200, I mean, she's been paying very sporadically. I don't see any $165 payment at all on this ledger. I see a lot of Section 8 payments. And then like I said, I'll see a $371 payment, then a $200 payment.
That's
Then
what I
no-
don't
Did
understand either, Your Honor. I
She's
had
not
just,
been paying.
oh yeah, I have. I got the receipts to prove it. I don't know
Okay.
why Amy's doing it like that, but I have money orders. I pay in the money
Okay,
orders.
Ms. Griffith, hold on. Can you see a period between April and now? I think those were the dates she gave me, where Section 8 did not make their payment.
I see that the last Section 8 payment, Your Honor, was on May 3rd. And then I don't, so I don't see anything for you, but actually, let me strike that. I mean, that is what it shows, and then it shows a credit. It says, hold on. Section 8 rent posted incorrectly on June 1st. So it's possible that that payment was not for her. So that would be consistent with what she's saying, that April would have been the last payment.
Got it. Okay.
Can I ask the court to ask the defendant, what are the repair issues that she's alleging have not been done?
Yes, Miss.
I moved in July, July 2nd of 22. The ceiling is leaking and I've made complaints, and then finally an inspector came out and they want all kinds of repairs that need to be done. They did one on 5/23 of 24. And that was the tub. And after that, they never came back.
Okay, ma'am, let me ask you this. Who administers your Section 8?
MSA.
USA. All right. Do you have the paperwork showing that they abated rent?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. So here's what you need to do. You need to get a copy of that and get that to the court. And you need to send a copy to Ms. Luckoff.
Okay.
Okay. How soon
I will
can
do
you
that.
do that? Can you do that by the first part of next week?
I can do that right now, Your Honor.
Okay, well, all right. Okay. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to adjourn this out so that we can all look at the same paperwork. I'll adjourn it out to the 28th, 2024 at 12 p.m. And the documents need to get to myself and they need to get to Miss Luckoff. All right?
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, and then I think that will answer your question, Council, because we'll be able to see repairs and everything.
Sure, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank
And you have one left, Ms. Luckoff, but that was the one we passed. So you need time on that one?
I mean, I've reached out, I've received no answer. I've reached out to everybody. It's Friday afternoon at 4.
Yes. Okay.
So I think we may just, that was when she said she paid 6:30 yesterday. I mean, I would ask for entry of judgment. I don't see there's any basis not to move forward, but I'll leave that to your discretion, Your Honor.
Why don't you got to come back? Let me just kick it out to the 28th.
Okay.
And 2024 at what time? 12 noon? All right, at 12 noon, and then we'll see where we are. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You do the same. Take care.
Thanks.
Court recalls the case of Northfield Crossing versus Gonzalez Ramos and Gonzalez.
And Your Honor,
All
I
right.
did have an opportunity to speak with Miss Gonzalez, who actually goes.
And it
by
was
the
a
name of
pleasant conversation, wasn't it?
It was, Judge.
All right, go ahead.
Your Honor, I've spoken with Christina Gonzalez, who's now known as Christina Gates. And I believe I said that correct, Ms. Gates?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And we've reached terms for a consent judgment, Your Honor. The
All right.
rent to retain is $1,407.80. Costs are $244. Total due $1,651.80. Ms. Gates is going to pay that amount plus the July rent as follows. She was going to pay $600 on June 28th, and then minimally $500 on July 5th, $500 on July 12th, $500 on July 19th. That's the minimum payment due on each of those days. Any remaining balance would then be paid on July 26th. Ms. Gates understands that if there was a default on the agreement, plaintiff could file for the order of eviction after the statutory 10 days has lapsed, which would be a request date of July 2nd. I advise Ms. Gates of her rights under MCR 4.201J. I believe she's given me permission to sign the consent judgment on her behalf, and we would request entry of a default possession only judgment with the same terms as to Jose Gonzalez Ramos. The one aspect of that I didn't clarify, Your Honor, for the court is that if there was a default, plaintiff could seek the order of eviction without further hearing, so that would constitute a waiver of that 56-day rule.
And Miss Gates, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. And I don't know if you said so, you gave permission for Miss Norman to
did.
sign your.
I
All
did,
right,
yes.
very. All right, then judgment to the plaintiff. The writ date as indicated in the amount of 1651.80 with a writ date as indicated in the judgment.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right.
Judge, I
Once
just
that
have
gets
to
to me,
show my
I'll sign
son.
off.
Can I show my
Pardon?
son that I'm on live with the famous Simpson judge?
What'd you say?
I said, can I show my son that I'm live with the famous judge?
You can if you'd like. See there? Hello, sir. How are you doing? Yep.
You everywhere.
I know. Maybe too many places. All right.
Let me get an autograph and we'll be good.
Okay. All right.
All my papers.
I was gonna say, you'll see his signature on, unfortunately, the court order.
Yes, that's true.
Matter.
Give me my
We're gonna
autograph.
frame it.
All right, you guys take care. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Miss
Yeah, have a
Gates
great one.
Gonzalez.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
You too.
That's it for us. Amy, thank you so much for today. Didn't need much of your help, but it was
As
just
always,
comforting
it's-
knowing you were there.
It's always great to spend Friday with you, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am. All right.
Have a good
You take
weekend,
care.
everyone.
You do the same.
Thank you.
And that's it, Fridge versus Cook.
I'm sorry, do I leave? This is Destiny. Oh, yes, I did. I did that.
Didn't I already deal with Miss Boyd?
Yeah, just now.
Yeah, I did. Yes, you may leave.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Am I good?
No, you're good.
Oh.
Okay. You stay right there. All right. Ms. Dornbush.
All right, Your Honor. So I have spoken with Ms. Cook. I think we've reached terms for a consent judgment. Your Honor, the agreement is that this action will be converted to an action for termination of tenancy. And Ms. Cook is going to vacate the home and the site on or before August 1st, 2024. She's got to remove all personal property from the home and surrender the keys and the fully executed title of the home to the community. The community has made an offer to purchase the home that Ms. Cook, I believe, has accepted. And so the community is drawing up a purchase agreement for Ms. Cook to review and sign in the next week. That would resolve this matter entirely and would result in the purchase of the home from Ms. Cook.
All right.
I let Ms. Cook know that if for some reason she has not vacated the home, surrendered the keys and title, removed all personal property from the home by August 1st, the landlord could file for the order of eviction at that point without further hearing, and they would then be excused from purchasing the home.
All right, Ms. Cook, is that your understanding of the consent judge? All right. Do you have any questions regarding that consent judgment? All right. Did you give Ms. Dornbush permission to sign your name, your consent judgment consistent with those terms?
Yes.
All right. And Ms. Cook, you are here not represented by counsel. You have 3 business days to think about this. If you believe that there's some legal reason, some right you didn't assert, some misunderstanding on your part, you would have to file a motion with the court within that time frame to try to set this consent judgment aside. That doesn't mean that I would grant it. You just have that time period to do so. You understand that, ma'am?
Mhm.
Yes?
Yes.
Is there any other questions you have regarding this consent judgment?
No.
All right. Thank you very much. And I'll look forward to getting the paperwork and we'll sign off and you'll get a copy. All right. Thank you, Ms. Cook. Good luck.
Your Honor, just to clarify, there was the default judgment, so this judgment would set aside the default and we would enter it as a consent judgment instead, just for the record.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you.
Arbor One versus Christy Davis.
Cheryl Walkup on behalf of the plaintiff.
She's here. She's been here for a long time. Just wait. Come on up. Hello. What's your name?
Christy Davis.
All right. We had last hearing $2,359.10. She was going to pay $600 that day.
She did
you get that
pay. I
paid?
believe it was on the 17th, but she did pay.
All right. And then how are you going to get the rest of this done, man?
I can pay $700 today.
You can pay $700 today?
Yeah, it won't, when I get there, it's gonna be closed, so I'll put it in night drop.
Okay, but you can pay $700 today. So, Ms. Luckoff, what do you have as her balance?
Right now I have $1,759.10, so that would leave her a balance of $1,910.
And then how can you get the rest of that paid? What were you looking at?
I know next Friday I can pay another $500. I just started another job, so it's not gonna be a full check, but I know it's gonna be $500, and then I could pay the rest of it off.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. I'm gonna adjourn you out a week. And to the 24th, pay just $700 today. Pay at least $500 by the 28th, as early on the 28th as you can.
Okay, now, the thing is, I
Yes.
don't get off until the office closed.
Got it.
They told me if I put a date that I gotta have it in that, before the office closed, I don't get off until 7:30. So the office will be closed. I work from 7:30 to 7:30. So I can put it in the night drop, but it won't, you understand what
I got you.
Okay.
I got you. Okay, so here's what I want to have happen. I want the $700 to get in against this account. It may be on the 28th, I have to issue a judgment, but it'd be a low amount in terms of a judgment. And that is seal that dollar amount.
Okay, so
Okay.
I just put the 500 next week.
Put the 700, get the 700
Yeah, I'm going to
in,
get a money order
and
now.
then get the 500 in.
Okay,
And then I may have to issue a judgment, but I'm gonna be issuing it for around $1,000 or less.
okay,
Once you do that, okay?
okay.
That's what we'll look at doing.
Okay, so
All right.
like when I got, or do I gotta come back to court?
Yes, you have to come back. Or you can appear via Zoom, either way.
I can do Zoom on Friday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I can do it while I'm at, okay.
Okay, yes.
Cause
June
like I said,
28th.
I got to work that day, so.
June 28th, 2024 at 12 p.m. And if you can, we'll get you a form so you don't have to miss work.
Okay,
Okay?
all right, thank you.
Harbor One versus Dominique Jones.
Cheryl Luckoff on behalf of the plaintiff.
Yeah, I know you're here. We'll wait for you. Hello. What's your name?
Dominique Jones.
All right. And last time we were here, she was at 1910.52. She was going to pay $500 by today.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay it today. As soon as I leave here, I can make it up.
Oh, you haven't
I
paid it?
literally just left work. Yes. I tried to call earlier. I didn't know it was an option for Zoom.
Gotcha.
And they were like, oh, you got to do it 40 hours. So I didn't know. So I just came.
Okay. All right. Very good. So.
And I also turned in the T thing that you asked me.
Did you do that?
I
You turned that in?
to the court myself on Tuesday.
Yes, you did. So she's going to get the stay for one more week in any event.
It'll be all paid by the 28th, regardless of the decision. However, I did get a ding on my email from DHS, but I wasn't able to look at it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know what it is.
All right. But you're going to have everything paid by the 28th.
Absolutely.
Anyway. Okay. There's a stay on it, which would adjourn it out to that date anyway. So I'm going to adjourn this to June 28th, 2024 at 12 p.m. So can you make sure that it gets paid before that time?
It'll be paid before then.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Hi, Ms. Luckoff.
She told me it's gonna be paid. What?
I always pay.
Who are you waving at?
It's
Waving at me.
I like her.
What?
That's my girl. I like
Every
her.
once in a while, a tenant will like me, right?
Luck off?
Yeah. Yes.
You like her?
Absolutely.
Wow.
I know. She doing her job. How somebody not gonna like her because they ain't baby? I don't think so. That ain't how that works.
Oh,
She
well,
me.
not only does she like you, you have a big defender here.
Well, it's the truth.
Thank you.
No, she does do her job and does it very well. All right.
All right.
Thank you. You have a
See
great
you
weekend.
next week. Hopefully it'll be dismissed because
Yes, ma'am. All righty. Harbor One versus Laura Slater.
Cheryl Luckoff on behalf of the plaintiff.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Solomon. I'm Laura Slater's daughter. She's currently incarcerated in Jackson County.
In Jackson?
Yes, sir.
All right. And do you live at the address or are you just appearing on
Yes,
her behalf?
I stay in the home as well with my 3 children.
Okay. When did she become incarcerated?
I think 3 days ago. I'm not entirely sure. It was this week though.
Right. Because she was here
Mhm.
and actually was able to get the rental assistance form in. So it must have been just 2 days ago, if that. Okay. Do you know how long she's going to be in?
I know that her bond is $200. I was gonna give her $150 to put towards the rent, but my check was only $100. And I'm working on bonding her out. I've tried to get a hold of her case manager because I know that yesterday she was supposed to pay the rest of the payment for the rent. So at this time I don't know when she's going to be out, but I do know that she gets her SSI check on the 28th, which I have access to.
Okay. So okay. Ms. Luckoff, how much is owing on this? I had 640.
Yes. Oh, 684.80 now. And as her daughter indicated, there was supposed to be a payment made of $500. It was not made.
Right. Okay. Disaster waiting to happen.
Yep.
Okay. So, ma'am, you have access to her SSI check.
Correct.
Okay. And when will you have access to that check? Comes on the 28th or 27th?
The 28th that I'm aware of. That's what she's told me. I've been calling every day to see if it's coming earlier. Because I don't
Okay,
have access to like her app that it's direct deposited to. I just like I call them, give them her information, and check the mail.
okay. So here's what I'm gonna do, so that you understand. I'm gonna find no tribal issue, and I could also do it by default, but I'm gonna do no tribal issue. I'm gonna grant a judgment to the plaintiff. Total redemption amount is $684.80. Okay, you got that?
Yes.
And there'll be no writ. I'm gonna make it July 2nd because of, I don't know how her check comes in, and that's gonna be right on that Friday. So
Okay.
so what has to happen is you have to pay that amount has to be paid by July 2nd.
Yes, sir.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then that doesn't, I'm not, in doing this, it doesn't have anything to do with July's rent. This will just keep you in the home, and then you guys got to work on getting your July rent paid.
Yes, sir. I understand. On July, I should be able to pay the rest, the remaining amount, and next month as well with my mom's check. Because I know that she has Section 8, so she only pays the 4 something, and then Section 8
Right.
pays.
Okay. All right. So right now, the important part is this $684. So you got to
Yes,
get
sir.
that amount paid to the landlord by the 2nd. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Court calls the case of Arbor One versus Latanya Jones.
Cheryl Walkup on behalf of the plaintiff.
Latanya Jones, Your Honor.
Okay, here you are. Last time we were here, she was at 1644.06. She said she was gonna pay $1,000 by the 20th, and then the
Yes,
balance
and I
by.
just, sorry from cutting you off, sir. But I
No,
only have 600 right now for it, and I thought my check was gonna be more. So I've been doing overtime, and I was wondering if I can just give the 600 and then by the July 5th have the remaining, and then the 19th of July I can pay my July rent.
Your
Okay.
Honor, I object. I mean, she stated, I have the notes. I have notes from everything from last week. She planned to pay $1,000 by 6/20. She didn't pay it. I'm asking for judgment to enter.
Please, Your Honor.
Well, here's what I'm gonna do, ma'am, and it may be to your benefit. I'm gonna enter a judgment to the plaintiff. That balance is still 1644.06.
Yes, it is, Your Honor. Yes.
All right. Judgment to the plaintiff that finding no tribal issue. Total judgment amount is $1,644.06. All right. That is to
Yes.
be paid, ma'am.
Yes.
It needs to be paid by July 1st.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. That's the 10 days.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you. Arbor One versus Sergey Dawson.
Cheryl Walkup on behalf of the plaintiff.
Sergey Dawson.
All right, he's here. All right.
Your Honor,
What's our- he
I was just
supposed
to
to
say,
pay-
she's supposed to pay in full by
everything.
Monday, yeah. And no payments have been made.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
you didn't get it paid?
No, so I received a personal check for one of the jobs I did, and that personal check bounced. I have contacted the homeowner, and I can't get another one until Monday morning. That being said, I do work for for a payroll check as well, which I did just get paid today, so I can get that in by if I can have till the 28th, even if a judgment is called, I'll have paid the rest of the money.
What's the total amount that's due?
$1,031.10.
$1,031.10. I'm going to find no tribal issue after hearing granted judgment to the plaintiff in the amount of $1,031.10. That needs to be paid within 10 days.
Yes, sir.
You're welcome.
Arbor One West versus Portia Bigham.
Cheryl Walkup on behalf of the plaintiff.
Any other? She has not checked in. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Plaintiff moves for entry of a default judgment of possession only, rent to retain, $1,595. Court costs $175.10 for a total redemption figure, $1,770.10. Writ to issue after 10 days.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that's by default for possession, redemption amount, in the amount requested, writ to issue 10 days. Arbor One West versus Latasha Taylor.
Cheryl Wolkoff on behalf of the plaintiff.
Ms. Taylor? Aye. All right. And I had that she owed $1,321 last hearing. She was going to pay $900 by that date, and then the balance by yesterday.
So she did pay $900, it looks like, on 6/15. She has a balance right now of $400, including court costs, $421.
It was paid today. I have the receipt.
You did?
Yeah, I have the receipt.
My eyes are old. I can't read that. I got you. That's what you said was going to happen. So the information hasn't gotten to Ms. Luckoff. So Ms. Luckoff, what I'll do so a dismissal can be sent in, I'm sure she got it paid. I'll just adjourn this out to the 28th date. And then, so ma'am, here's what I'm going to do. I'm adjourning this out 1 week to the 24th at 12 p.m. on the 28th, 2024 at 12 p.m. It's likely you won't have to be here. They're going to send it to dismissal once they verify the payment.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. You take care. Arbor One versus Ruta Brooks.
Cheryl Wolkoff on behalf of the plaintiff.
Ruta Brooks, there she is. Miss Brooks?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. This is in the wrong spot.
Your Honor, I guess, first of all, frankly, this looks like the unauthorized practice of law. I mean, clearly this motion was not drafted by Ms. Brooks. I mean, she couldn't argue it. It's citing law. I don't know why an attorney who drafted it didn't just file an appearance, but I mean, we've handled many of these cases in your courtroom. However you want to proceed, if you prefer to have it, I have no problem with the change in venue, but I don't think that
I can't hear.
up to you.
Yeah, I don't.
Bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, I gotcha. I mean, the way I look at it, I think I have to change venue because it's across the street, which doesn't make any sense. So I'm going to grant the motion for change of venue.
Thank you.
Arbor One versus Alana Gaines.
Cheryl Wolkoff on behalf of the plaintiff.
Thank you. I'll take this off. I'll be right back.
Pardon? Alana Gaines? She has not checked in. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Plaintiff moves for entry of a default judgment of possession only, rent to retain possession, $2,266. Court costs $175.10 for a total redemption figure of $2,441.10 with a statutory redemption period.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession redemption amount in the amount requested with the writ issued 10 days. Arbor One versus Keith Whitfield.
Cheryl Wolkoff on behalf of the plaintiff.
Keith Whitfield, he was in Zoom, but he's been signed out for a long time. I'll let you proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Plaintiff moves for entry of a default judgment of possession only, rent to retain, $2,637. Court costs $175.10 for a total redemption figure of $2,812.10.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession redemption amount in the amount requested with issue in 10 days.